What happens when cities grow too large? When more and more people are trying to move into the city, but there isn't adequate infrastructure or any space for that matter. While we have faced this problem multiple times in multiple cities, India's big metros like Delhi and Mumbai were never designed to hold tens of millions of people who live there today. Now cities cannot grow endlessly, and this is where the concept of satellite cities comes in. A satellite city is a smaller planned city built just outside a major metro. It's connected to the parent city with roads, trains and metros, but it has its own housing, markets, schools, offices and even industries. Think of it as a partner city there to reduce pressure on the main city. In India, some of these satellites have grown so big that they sometimes even rival the parent city itself. So today, let's take a look at some of the most important satellite cities of India and how they were designed. This video is sponsored by Autodesk. More about them later in this video. The very first on our list are the satellite cities of Delhi. In my previous video, I talked about two parts of Delhi, Old Delhi and New Delhi, to show how both of them are different from each other. Well, the city is made up of many parts like this and is one of the fastest growing metros in the world. Now, by the 1970s, this city was running out of space. So instead of just expanding it more and more, there was an idea to build satellite cities for our capital. And thus, Noida and Gurgaon were born. So let's take a look at their designs. Our first city is Noida. Planned in the 1970s, this city was initially envisioned as an industrial hub. But today, this city is divided into many zones that include residential and commercial areas. The entire city is made up of sectors. Wide roads form the skeleton of this plan and smaller, well-planned streets weave through each sector. Within these sectors were areas like residences, offices and markets. Housing was designed for a mix of income groups, making it attractive for middle-class families and young professionals. Now, one of the important things is that Noida was entirely built by the public sector. This means there was long-term planning shaping roads, transit and public services. Now let's take a look at Gurgaon. This is a far more glamorous city with shiny buildings, incredible companies and home to some really wealthy people. However, the infrastructure here is a different matter altogether. So Gurgaon was once a sleepy agricultural town, and this started changing in the 1980s when the Maruti Suzuki plant opened. Its real boom came in the 2000s though, when IT companies and multinational corporations needed offices near Delhi. Now Gurgaon is also built in sectors. These right here were the first sectors to be built, but then slowly the city started expanding to the size we see today. Now, unlike Noida, Gurgaon's development was done on a public-private partnership. Private developers took the lead in developing residential and commercial spaces, and public agencies were responsible for civic infrastructure like roads and drainage. But the problem was that the city started expanding fast. That means the private infrastructure developed much faster than the public one. So this is the reason why in Gurgaon you will find a lot more gated communities, office towers and malls, and they're all amazingly designed. But the public infrastructure around these might not be the best. But one of the big things that still works in Gurgaon's favor is this proximity to the IGI airport, which connects this city to places around the world. This is also why so many companies set up shop here. They are closer to the capital of this country but also connected to the world. And that is also the reason why Gurgaon can offer a lifestyle like no other city, which honestly attracts so many people from around the country. But when you look at these two cities, Gurgaon and Noida, you understand how much planning and infrastructure is shaped by who develops it. But regardless, both these cities are absolutely thriving and successful. And together with Delhi, they have made NCR, or the National Capital Region, one of the most populous and popular regions of this country. Now, before we move on to our next cities, I want to take a moment to talk about urban design. In my 4th year of architecture, we had an urban design studio. In this studio, we had to study and document a city. The city that we chose was Pushkar. We divided the city into different parts and in smaller groups started to document each of these parts. We would go on site, make measurements, use satellite imagery and take all of this data, and then we started to create the plan of this city on AutoCAD. And we not only made the plan, we also made street elevations. Basically, we did a detailed measured drawing, all of it on AutoCAD. Now, Autodesk's AutoCAD is a tool that all architects and designers are familiar with. In fact, all architects today do most of their drafting on CAD, creating detailed drawings of their projects. And this tool was very helpful. You see, for our urban design, we actually divided our entire class into groups. And for the final plan of the city, we just brought all of these drawings together as groups and place them next to each other. And finally, the master plan was complete. Honestly, AutoCAD made all of this so much easier. It facilitated the coordination that we had to do between all of our groups. So if you're an architect or a designer and you haven't yet tried AutoCAD by Autodesk, you need to try it out and see how much easier it makes your life. Your entire workflow, whether it is creating designs or doing documentation, will become so much more efficient. I will leave the link to download it in the description box below. I would like to thank Autodesk for supporting this channel and sponsoring this video and making it possible. I've actually been using their products for years and can vouch for them. So do check them out. Now let's get back to our video. Now Chandigarh itself was India's boldest experiment in modern planning. But Chandigarh soon started expanding, much more than the city's infrastructure could handle. So instead of endlessly extending the city, it was decided to create two new ones, Panchkula and Mohali. Let's talk about Mohali first. Planned in the 1960s, this city was conceived as a natural extension of Chandigarh. In fact, its early sectors mirror Chandigarh's, the same grid system, the same sector dimensions. Some sectors are even shared by these two cities. But Mohali wasn't just a residential add-on. It was designed with employment and industry in mind. Over the years, it grew into a hub for IT parks, sports infrastructure, and institutional campuses. Now, one of the main differences between Chandigarh and Mohali was they both have very different rules for zoning and for urban density. Even the sector planning in Mohali is followed until a particular point, beyond which it starts morphing, even organically at times. In Chandigarh, this was never allowed because of Corbusier's strict plans being honored. Another key difference is that Mohali doesn't have Chandigarh's brutalist architecture identity, but maybe that's a good thing. Anyway, across the border in Haryana, Panchkula offers a slightly different experiment. Planned in the 1970s, Panchkula borrowed the sector system as well, but broke away from Chandigarh's rigid grid. Here the city is arranged in a fan-shaped layout, radiating around the central fountain park. The idea was to create a stronger hierarchy of open spaces. So you have this central green park and then you have green areas in all of the individual sectors as well. Just like Chandigarh, each sector in Panchkula was self-sufficient as well, following the neighborhood unit principle. Together, these three cities, Chandigarh, Mohali and Panchkula, are known as the Tri-City region. When you live here, you can actually feel how each of these cities has their own rhythm, even though they are deeply connected. I experienced this myself because I actually did my internship in Panchkula and I have lived in each of these cities. There are no hard borders between these cities, but when you go from one to the next, you can immediately notice the difference in character and architectural identity. Have you ever been to any of these cities? Let me know in the comments. Now let's move to our final satellite city in this video, Navi Mumbai. Now I have already talked about Navi Mumbai in one of my previous videos, but let me give you a quick recap. By the 1970s, Bombay was getting overcrowded. The city had no space left to expand, so architects Charles Correa, Shirish Patel and Praveena Mehta proposed something radical. They wanted to build a twin city across the harbour. This wasn't meant to be one giant sprawl but a chain of self-sufficient nodes. Each node was designed with its own housing for all income groups, schools, hospitals, markets and open spaces. There were wide arterial roads and suburban railways were planned from the start. So basically transport here was not an afterthought but built into the design of the city. The original plan even proposed shifting Mumbai's government offices and central business district to Navi Mumbai. But that shift sadly never happened. And so in the early years, many people hesitated to move here and it looked like this city would go nowhere. At that time, Navi Mumbai became a haven for middle and low income families who found better housing, greener spaces and a planned urban environment. But then something interesting happened as the years progressed. Over the decades, with new bridges and transport links, the city has transformed into a thriving urban hub. IT companies and industries have set up offices here, and Navi Mumbai today is one of the largest planned cities in the world. Also recently, the Navi Mumbai airport was inaugurated and it might do for Navi Mumbai what the IGI airport did for Gurgaon. So this thriving city today might not have gotten the initial boost that it needed by shifting the government offices and the business district. But over the years, it has sustained and grown into one of the most populous cities of India. And loads of people reach out to me telling me how much they love living in Navi Mumbai more than they ever did in Mumbai. This city is constantly developing and changing. I would love to see what the future of Navi Mumbai holds. And that was it, you guys. Those were some of India's most ambitious satellite cities. Now, I know there are many other cities like Kolkata and Hyderabad that also have satellite cities. So maybe I should make a part 2 of this video. What do you think? Also, which of these cities have you visited? Let me know in the comments. Do check out AutoCAD. This video was possible because of Autodesk. The link is in the description. As always, don't forget to like and to share and also to hype within the first 7 days and subscribe to Blessed Dark. I will see you guys very soon with another video. Until then, bye bye.